Hi Gemini, how are we today? Today we're just going to be looking at your person, their feelings towards you, those sorts of things, as well as, the reality of the situation. What I'm trying to do today is I want to sort of have a look at the 5D. So, like from a love and soul type vibe there, how they feel about you, their intentions towards you, but then also flipping over into, a bit more, what's actually going on in the reality of this relationship, so their actions towards you, as well as some advice for how to deal with this connection as well. I'm using quite a few decks because I do want to get quite in depth today. So for heart and soul space, we will be working with the green glyphs lenormand today. And then when it comes to the actions and that real world stuff, I do have the Lenormand of Japan deck here, as well as two oracle decks for either side of that we're looking at as well. So getting straight on into it for you today, Gemini. Gemini's person. What is Gemini's person's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Gemini, please? For Gemini's person. And obviously I'll clarify as I go if I do need as well. Okay, so for their thoughts, we do have the moon. So we're seeing quite a lot of emotional sensitivities, that element of also, thinking like they are following their intuition when it comes to this connection, but also probably having quite a bit of emotional thought going on about the connection as well. So sort of feeling a bit, trapped in their emotions when it comes to the way that they're thinking about things within this connection. So, I feel like with the moon, though, it is a really good card for good fortune and those sorts of things as well. So even if they are, a little bit trapped in that emotional thought process at the moment, the moon really does sort of bring a really big sense of luck and beauty along with that as well. Like I said, they may be feeling like their intuition is leading the way when it comes to, how they're dealing with this connection within themselves. For their feelings, we've got the tree there. So for me, when it comes to someone's feelings towards you, the tree is probably actually talking a lot more about feeling like they want to just get to know you a little bit better. The tree is, it can be a lot about self-care and things like that, but and that self-growth as well. But when it comes to relationships, it's just talking about wanting to grow that relationship and wanting that extra knowledge. Trees do survive a long, long time, as we know. So it's really talking about feeling like they just want a bit more knowledge about you so that they can help grow this connection. So their feelings are definitely positive. They're wanting to focus on the growth of the connection and just getting to know you a little bit more. So I feel like that could be something, where these thoughts are a little bit emotional. Their feelings are that they are definitely wanting to grow this and sort of learn all the ins and outs of who you are and just get to know you just that little bit better. You guys might already know each other super well, but there might just still be, a few things they feel like they just want to expand their knowledge on the connection or what they need to do within the connection. So talking with them at this time is probably going to be a really good thing for both of you. Now, when it comes to their intentions, I do have the woman energy, so the feminine energy coming on through there. So that you, obviously, I don't really like to genderize within the Lenormand there, but that does sort of talk about the more feminine aspects. So thinking about the, the more feminine sides of the partnership or connection, wanting to come in softly and their intentions are to, have that real loving and nurturing vibe as well when it comes to the connection. They really sort of want to nurture this. The woman obviously it can also, a lot of the time, it does talk about mother figures. So, they really are sort of wanting to, get involved in that nurturing the connection. So combined with the tree as well, nurture is a word that we associate with, seedlings as well. So if it's a connection that's still in the early stages there, they're really sort of wanting to nurture this and see this grow. So that's really positive when it comes to the more 5D side of the connection. The feelings and intentions definitely are there. So I'll grab an oracle on the connection just as well. So Gemini and their person, please. So this one will be the Island Time Wellness Oracle deck there. Gemini and their person, please. The 5D side, please. Gemini and their person, please. Okay, so we're seeing the camera card coming out there. So that's sort of reminiscing, keepsakes, perceptions, learning from the past, and making memories. So yeah, definitely sort of wanting to nurture this connection and make new memories, but also feeling like they have sort of learned from past connections or even their past with you. Really wanting to learn from any mistakes that they have made, and really, yeah, go into this with that full nurturing sense as well. We do know when it comes to that feminine energy, reminiscing and having keepsakes of the connection is actually quite important to your person. It does seem like they're on that love kind of energy level as well. So in their heart and soul, they do sort of really want to keep all these memories close to them for a long time from here. That does sort of vibe really well for that there. But we'll have a look into a little bit more of the future upcoming reality aspects of the connection. So yes, the Lenormand of Japan deck here. So I had one flying out at me there. So the reality of this person, Gemini, has in interest there. Gemini's person of interest and the reality of that situation, please. Okay, and are we seeing any near future actions coming towards Gemini from this person? Okay, so the one that jumped out there was the fox. So that can sort of talk about, that salesman type energy. So, wanting to sort of really talk and, sell themselves to you a little bit. It does sort of feel like with that energy there, but also having that sense of independence. And they do have, their sense of strong boundaries, and that survival instinct does sort of tend to take over when it hits reality for your person. So with that jumping on out there, I do feel that could just be letting us know that your person, they even though they are in a really lovely heart space, that they are sort of one of those people that is sort of bound to themselves in a sense, with that sense of independence and self-survival coming on through pretty strong there with that fox card. They want to do the best by you, but when it comes to reality, they might just not know how to put those things into action. So but it is that salesman energy. So it sounds like they're going to sell themselves towards you as well. That I'm definitely getting that vibe off that card as well, really wanting to sort of say what they can, tell you what they can about themselves to sort of support growth within this connection. So for when I've asked about, the reality of this situation. We are seeing the male and the scythe. Okay, so that means that they may, even though they do really want to be in this feminine energy that we are seeing coming through on the 5D side of it, in the 3D they are finding it really hard to actually do that, and they are feeling like they are getting quite stuck in their masculinity side, so they may have that more controlling type personality, that more dominating type personality. But I feel like with the scythe there, that can probably suddenly change, and they can probably flip quite quickly from, being that sweet, loving, nurturing person, but then all of a sudden they sort of go a bit cold and independent, and that sort of feels like that's what's going on. It's kind of like that battle within yourself to, this is what you want to do, but then you've got this instinct of self-survival, sort of, dealing with things the way that you have in the past and things like that. So back to that camera card, they're definitely trying to learn those mistakes, but we are feeling a bit of a flip energy with that. So sometimes their reality and the way that they act and behave may not actually be totally matched up with the way that they feel, and they're just having difficulty meshing the two and behaving towards you in the way that they truly do want to, with love and all that, but the scythe can also talk about, sudden changes happening within the connection as well, that's bringing around this. So, they might get some, news suddenly that just seems to flip them into a different, persona or something like that. So when things do suddenly change, I feel like that's when that masculine energy comes on out strong, and that's just like, habit for them to do that. They really want to be loving and be in this feminine energy, but it does feel like that when things are, a little bit tougher, and or anything changes suddenly, or they suddenly, they do learn something a little bit confronting or anything, or having to deal with conflict within the connection, they can flip quite quickly over into this more masculine energy and wanting to sort of control or dominate the situation, and especially control or dominate the way that they're presenting themselves as well. So they may have a few little issues there that they are still sort of working through, Gemini. But then when it does come to the actions that this person is taking, we've got the crossroads there, and we do also have the summer card as well. So with the crossroads, it feels like they're in this, when it comes to their actions in the near future, there's some sort of a decision or choice that they're going to have to make. With the summer card coming through, I do read that as my own seasons. Okay, so we're actually heading close into winter there, so we won't be seeing summer until almost Christmas time. So I feel like this is sort of talking about these choices and decisions that your person is making may actually take a little bit longer than being so close in the future there. They may be someone who does sort of have trouble making decisions, and with this changes card coming through as well, that they might have trouble dealing with sudden changes and deciding which path to go. But it does feel like summer is going to be sort of a resolution. And I also actually read this card a second way as well, because it does link quite well with the sun card as well. So, it does talk about that general sense of happiness and warmth within their actions as well. So it feels like whatever decision that they are going to be making when it comes to this connection, it is something that is going to be, bringing things out into the light for you guys, and, with that sense of warmth and happiness as well. So that's definitely attached with that there as well. So a oracle for you guys with that. That's the Oracle of the Shapeshifters by Lucy Cavendish deck there. I will also grab some advice for you guys in a second too. So, physical reality, Gemini and their person. Physical reality, Gemini and their person. So these ones do tend to be a little bit more on the advice side of things as well, but we are just wanting to use this deck to focus more on the physical side of things, you know, the actual reality and the day-to-day of the connection. Gemini and their person, please. Okay, so we have once upon a midnight dreary there. So that says creativity, genius, writing, expression, and artistic flow. So those things may be really important between the two of you to sort of make sure we are going into that heart space a bit more. You know, I am seeing quite a duality between the heart space and the reality space. So when it comes to the reality space, you know, allowing your person that opportunity to express themselves, but also to be creative and be creative together may actually really help bring the reality around that you actually want within this connection. So all those sorts of things, like, you know, even I find in the with the picture of the scroll here, your person may actually find it easier to, you know, like write you a letter or something like that, rather than talking about some of the real, you know, nitty gritty, hard to talk about emotional things. So if that's something that you think might fit your person, maybe suggest that to them. Look, if you can't say it to me, just write me a note or send me a text or something, you know. So the text side of the reality, you know, the more written communication, creative type energy within the communication may actually, you know, bring out that more loving energy from your person. I really feel that that's sort of what that's talking about, but also that, you know, giving them that opportunity to be creative and express themselves is really going to help them deal with these changes and choices that they've got coming up in the actions. So, you know, I definitely would be taking that on board there, but I will get some direct advice in regard to your person. So this is advice for you, Gemini, in regards to these aspects. So within the loving heart energy there, what advice do you have for Gemini when it comes to Gemini and their person? Advice to Gemini for the 5D on this connection, please. Okay, so we're actually seeing the lily and the heart there. So that's some beautiful advice for you guys. It's just basically letting you know that, you know, the more love and the more loving energy that you put into this connection, the more they're going to come out of their, you know, reality shell, and they're going to, you know, be able to reciprocate towards you. And this is like a really intimate energy there. So like I said, with the expression and the creative energy coming on through there, the lily really does have that level of intimacy as well. So your advice for bringing out that loving side of your person is pretty much just to love them and, you know, come from a loving place, but also very, very intimate as well. Now, intimacy is not always physical intimacy. Obviously, emotional intimacy is quite important as well. And they really do want to get to know you. You know, that was coming through in their energy. So, you know, giving them that opportunity to be quite intimate on an emotional level, I feel that that's going to be sort of a really great thing for you guys when it comes to this connection. But for some advice on the more physical aspects, like the reality, the, like I said, the day to day, the how we behave with each other, those sorts of things. Gemini, advice for Gemini and their person for the physical world, please. Okay, so we are seeing your advice as the cross and the fish there for the physical world. So yeah, so I feel like that's connected back to these choices and decisions that your person might be making there. They may feel like a little bit of a, you know, like a crossed bear for you and your person. It might be a joint decision, like a decision that affects both of you, and them not making up their mind as quickly as you'd like. Does feel like it might be a little bit of a burden on you at the moment. But the overall message from this particular card, the cross there, is actually, trusting in the process and trusting in, the universe or God or whatever you do believe in yourself, and trusting that things will work out the way that you want them to. So in the physical world there, we are seeing one of the financial cards come through. So I feel like that's just sort of letting you know, in the physical world, just let your person know that, you are there to support them and you trust in them rather than, being overly concerned. But it does show quite a lot of abundance. So advice that's sort of letting you know that, having that abundance of helping them and supporting them is actually going to be quite beneficial for you guys as well. So yeah, I feel like that covers your person at the moment. That yes, I do feel quite strongly that there might be some changes and decisions needing to be made within the connection. So it was coming through more so in your person's energy. So they may not be directly decisions about the connection, but they may be decisions that will affect the connection. So we all know things like if you have to make a decision about if you move or take on a new job, especially with that financial card coming through. It could definitely be like changes at work that we're talking about, changes within their personal finances, but also just letting them know that you'll support them and with that loving and intimate energy coming from you up the top there, I feel that you're really going to be able to bring this person back into the 5D of the connection. It feels like a really strong connection in the 5D. So it's just a few little niggly things going on for you guys in the reality. So, and yeah, like I said, that person may be a little bit flippy between their reality and their emotional side. They might flip a little bit as well, and maybe that's partly what this choice is. They're trying to choose whether it's safe to, be their whole self with you rather than, hiding those certain aspects and flipping back into that I'm a strong masculine robot, that I know, like I'm just being very generalizing there, but it does that's sort of how it does come across with those particular cards there. But yeah, good luck with it all, Gemini, and let me know in the comments how that resonates for you guys. If you leave a comment, you will be in the running for a free personal. When I do hit 100 subscribers, I will be drawing that. So yeah, like and subscribe and let me know what you guys thought of that reading and if it resonates for you. Thank you.